Good day. Today, I'd like to I'd like to take a hard look, a critical look at the NBA prospects for 220. When I say critical, for example, in the stock market, there are people that make a living betting against the tide. Okay? They bet short. They do a lot of shorting. In other words, what they mean when everybody else is buying, they're selling. When everybody else is selling, they're buying. And some people are very good at this. And so, at the height of a market, they'll be selling like a lot of people are doing now. They're selling because we're at a height of the market. When the market is crashing, these guys are buying because they're seeing bargains. And the reason they're good at this is because they look at things critically. They look at it hard. Like, for example, when people are professional gamblers on sports, they're not guessing. I mean, they're looking very critically at the sport, at the players, at all of the factors surrounding them. I think we should look at the NBA draft like that, at least if you want to be realistic. Now, I'm a New York Knicks fan, and so I generally don't care what happens after the Knicks pick. But this year is a little different because the Knicks have the 8th pick, the 27th pick, and the 38th pick in the draft. And I'm hoping that they can move up from the 27th pick and get another pick between 10 and 20, something in that range. Maybe we can package Julius Randle and maybe a future pick. I tried to put that last night on CP and Nick of Time show and the Knicks telecast last night, but I think they misunderstood me. I'm not trying to trade the 8th pick for anything. I'm not trying to move up or move down. I'm trying to trade the 27th pick and the Dallas 2023 pick and Julius Randle. I'm trying to package that for another pick. That's what I'm trying to do. And Julius Randle, I'm not trading him to a team that he's going to start because he's a third option at best. And he can play very well as a third or fourth option. I'm packaging him to a team that may want him to come off the bench and deal with him as an expiring deal. Okay. I just want to set that for you. And then looking at all of these prospects, let's look at them critically. And then when you see the risk involved, you can decide, who you want. Okay. What I don't want to do, what I don't like to do is buy into the NBA draft hype that comes every year where people take a few videos and hype them and then see these players at their best and then hype them and want them to be number one picks or your team and should draft this guy because he's fast or he jumps high or whatever. Let's look at this very critically. Now, in talking about that, a couple of things come to mind I want to bring out right away, just in general. When you're drafting teenagers, okay, by virtue of them being teenagers, for the most part, they are not finished growing. Even if they have reached their height, in terms of the height they're going to be in terms of growth, they may not have filled in yet. And sometimes when you push kids at that age on a professional level in the NBA, which is, the hardest basketball league in the world, it can cause injuries. It can cause premature injuries. It can cause premature careers. Okay. Then that's number one. Then you have guys that are not only young, but built very slightly, very thin frames. For example, Kristaps Porzingis. I was really on board for months. Actually, about 3 months before they drafted him, Mark Spears did a segment on him 3 months before they drafted him. And that's when I first heard about him. And I was really wanting them to draft him, and they did. But the cautions was his thinness of frame, was cautious, him being so tall. Because tall players with thin frames often have lower body issues, knees, ankles, feet, especially feet. When they have problems with their feet, that's a red flag. That's what hurt Bol Bol when he didn't get drafted in the first round last year, he had foot issues. And that can be chronic, especially if they play too many minutes. I remember Marcus Camby. I actually had the privilege of coaching Marcus Camby for like 3 or 4 years. And I remember the scouts were saying to him that he needed to get stronger. His frame was too thin. And then I remember when he did get drafted that his highest level value would be to play him no more than 25 minutes a game. The Knicks did that when they got him in 99 and they went to the finals with him because he was getting maximized. He was a starter in terms of talent, but in terms of durability, he was not. And if you look at his career, he was hurt a lot. And I think it hurt him in terms of he had all-time defensive talent. He had Bill Russell type defensive talent, but and his IQ off the charts. But the risk of injury and the injury history was high. Okay. And it was because of his frame and because, so you have to be careful. Now, in this particular draft, I looked up NBAdraft.net and I'm looking at the players. They have them listed as to where they think they're going to go, but I'm just looking at the players because generally, like in the lottery, it's acknowledged that, these are the top players, may not be in the same order that these guys have them in, but these are generally acknowledged to be top players. All right. So let's take a look at something. Not only that, I looked this morning at the drafts from 2010 to 2019, like 10 years of drafts. I was just looking at it this morning before, when I got up today. And, you'd be surprised at the number of top players that were drafted in the second round or drafted in the second half of the first round. Okay. Top players. Some drafts had, to me, if you're going to have a productive NBA career, like you may not be the superstar they thought you were, but you're still around after 5 or 6 years and people are still paying you to play and you're playing a role, that's relatively successful. And it takes about 4 years, because there's a lot of guys that were drafted 6 years ago and are just starting to hit their stride now. That's why, a lot of you guys that are fans start tripping when a guy is not making it after 2 or 3 years. And that's why they give them 4-year rookie contracts, gives them a chance to develop. Okay. So what we want to look at now is the bust potential for these players. Okay. So let's start with Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards is 6'5", 225. All right. Physical tools are there. From what I saw from the interviews he did, from the way he talks, the drive and determination is there to be great. These are good things. So the risk with Anthony Edwards is not that he won't push himself to become the best version of himself. I don't think that's a risk. His body is strong. The risk for him would be either going to a team that can't develop him properly or won't develop him properly and picking up bad habits, or just an injury, a freak injury, like Justice Winslow. Okay. Freak injury. So that's why to me, he's ranked the top prospect because the bust potential is low. Okay. Between his body type, his body style, his play style, and his attitude. His attitude is very good. LaMelo Ball, high bust potential. 6'8", 180. Thin frame. All of these highlights we're looking at from Australia. He only played 17 games. And his team got blown out often. He shot 25% from the 3-point line. His defense is universally acknowledged to not be good. High bust potential. Okay? High bust potential. James Wiseman, 7'1", 235. Strong body. Not sure about how badly he wants to be the best. Not sure about how competitive he is. There's been a lot of players with size and athletic ability that just didn't have it up here or in here in the heart. We don't know about that with him. Okay? We don't know. We have no idea. That's the risk with him. Aside from him also being young, because he's, he may not fully, even though he's a big boy, he's still a boy coming out of freshman year. So there's injury potential. And of course, because we don't know how badly he wants it, see, based on his potential, he's top 3. Everybody has him in the top 3. Does he want to be great though? See, what if you sign him to a big contract and he just decides he doesn't want to try anymore because he's getting paid $10 million a year for the next 4 years? That's a risk. Killian Hayes, 6'5", 195 point guard. Nice size for a point guard. Okay? 18 years old. We're playing against grown men in the NBA. This ain't the European League. Goes to his left all the time. Cannot go to his right. These things could be taught, but can he pick them up? Can he learn to go right? Because in the NBA, when they know that you're one-handed, you know what they're going to do. This is professional. They're going to force you to the right. They're going to force you into a double team when you go left. Okay? He's young. Is he finished growing? Can he handle 82 games? See, I wouldn't draft him expecting him to play 30 minutes a night. I wouldn't. You're setting him up to fail. Okay? Onyeka Okongwu, 6'9", 235. This guy's got the physical ability. I mean, he's physical, 6'9", 235. He's young. He's young. But he seems to, if you see, what I've noticed with him is when he plays, he leaves it all out there. I don't see him loafing or taking plays off. That's good. Okay. So his injury risk, I would say, is low, like Edwards. Can he play with his face to the basket? Back to the basket players, the NBA doesn't even use them anymore. The best back to the basket player we saw in a while was Jahlil Okafor. That didn't turn out too well. But then again, to be fair, Jahlil wasn't good on defense. Onyeka is. So the bust potential for him is low, I would think. All right. Obi Toppin, 6'9", 220. You know, he's a solid boy. Young man, actually. He'll be 23 when the season starts. So he's a grown man. Okay. He's a grown man. I wouldn't worry about injuries with him. Okay. He wasn't I don't think he was a 5-star recruit. So it looks like he had to fight his way to get to this point, where he's at right now. I say low bust potential with him. Low bust potential. Okay. A grown man, got to get paid. He wants to get paid. He knows he's coming in at 23. I think you're going to see him, put forth his best effort, coming in the best shape and be ready to play. I like that low bust potential with Obi Toppin. Yes, of course. And this is the thing about all of these players. There is no perfect player. All of these players have weaknesses. All of them. The last time you might have seen a player with no weaknesses was LeBron James. Well, now you got Luka Doncic. And Luka Doncic, his biggest risk is that he might get too fat. I mean, you can see he's a husky kid. All right. And he's only 21. He's still actually filling in. He's got to watch the table and the plate because that could be his biggest problem. He's got all the skills in the world. The kid's a prodigy, a basketball savant. See, when I say basketball savant, there's just some guys that are just players, man. Magic Johnson, even though they list him as a point guard, when they won the championship against Philly in his rookie year, he played guard, forward, and center. Jabbar wasn't even in the game in the game that they clinched in Philly. And I think he had like 40 points, like 20 rebounds or something like that. That's a basketball savant. You could put Magic Johnson with 5 high school players and that team might be going to the playoffs because that's what you mean. And so you don't get those players often. You don't get those players that often. Luka is one of those guys. But his weakness. Now, LeBron, he drafted at 18. Body was 6'9", 250 at 18. But he worked his butt off every year to keep himself in shape. He was determined to be the greatest. He still is. And so you can see that. Obi, I can see he's not a basketball savant, but he has talent. Defensively, his feet are slow. His feet are slow on defense. I think he tries, but I think his feet are just slow. Okay, some people like that. Bobby Portis is like that. Bobby Portis has very heavy feet. Okay, and that's why he's not excelling as a starting power forward. He can shoot pretty well. He's as a 3-point specialist, but and he can rebound well. But defensively, when he gets close to the rim, he's tough. But if you get him in space, his feet are very heavy, and I think Obi is in the same situation. Tyrese Halliburton, 6'5", 185. Okay, I mean, he's thin. Can he play 82 games? Can he play? See, this is the thing. All right, let me be realistic. I don't think very few players play 82 games. Let's say, can he play 72 games? Can he play a consistent 72 games? There's a grind in the NBA, even without the back-to-backs. NBA is a grind, okay? Traveling, now they're in the bubble, but traveling from city to city and playing against the top players in the world every night, there's a risk. Injury risk with Halliburton. IQ off the charts, no question. That's a nice 3-point shot, definitely. I like him to play off the ball, though. He has to come in, to me, if he has to come in. There was a player back in the day that was thin like that. And he used his endurance to wear down his opponents. And he became a great player. His name was John Havlicek. He used to play for the Boston Celtics. And John Havlicek, they once put a device on him. And they said that each game he ran about 5 miles, each 48-minute game. And he used his durability and his endurance, to carve out a Hall of Fame NBA career and win some rings with Boston. I think Halliburton's going to have to do that. He's obviously not going to be the Hulk. He's 6'5", 185. And he's also not finished filling in also, but I think he needs to really develop his endurance and be ready to play off the ball. But, he's an injury risk. And then being so light, he might be able to get bullied around defensively. So that's a risk with him. Next guy to me, now this is just me and I'm putting this out there on YouTube. So 6 months, a year from now, you can call me wrong if I'm wrong. But I think this guy is got the highest bust potential in the whole draft. Deni Avdija. He's 6'9", 210. 6'9", 210. He averaged about 7 points a game in Maccabi with his team. He shot 25% from the 3-point line. Now he runs pretty fast. Okay. He's got good length, but he's light in the butt. Can he play 72 games? I think he only played like 12 games, 15 games this whole last season. Can he play 72 games? And he's going to be a 3. Okay, he's going to be a 3. Let's just talk about some of the threes in the Eastern Conference, never mind even the Western Conference. Can he guard Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum? Can he guard Pascal Siakam or OG Anunoby? Can he deal with Jimmy Butler? Can he deal with John Collins? I don't know. Can he deal with Rui Hachimura? What would happen if he's one-on-one with the block with Julius Randle? Can he even deal with RJ Barrett, who will give people the business because he's physical? I don't think so. What I see for this kid is I see him as a bad shooter in the NBA level, 25% shooting in Maccabi. And they show all these highlights of him dunking and stuff. Yo, he's playing with an old behind Amari Stoudemire, who ain't even got no knees left. I see big time bust potential with this guy. And I'm really hoping that Chicago picks him at 4 so that the Knicks are not pressured into picking him at 8. Because I don't want no parts of this guy. All right. I see bust potential, injury potential, very high. And in the NBA, when they see that you're weak, like it's like dog eat dog. You see, it's only the strong survive. When they see you weak, they're going to exploit that. So when they first of all on defense, they're going to abuse him. Okay, they're going to abuse him, I think. And then offensively, he's playing in the league, man. So if he's not hitting his shot, they're going to back off him. And then his confidence is going to get even worse. I see big time bust potential with this guy. I'm not high on him at all. Deni, I want to avoid him. Please, Chicago, pick him. Devin Vassell, 6'7", 200. He's another guy that's slim. Okay, 7-foot wingspan, but he's slim. He has shown himself. Now, high schoolers are ranked, right? So you got 5-star recruits. You know, those are the top ranked high school players. You got 4-star recruits, next level, and 3-star recruits. He was a 3-star recruit coming out of high school. That means he wasn't one of the best ranked players. Okay. All of a sudden he developed. In fact, I saw a video where his coach in high school said, this guy's going to be a pro. You may not look like it now, but and look at him. Okay. Top defensive player, but he's thin. Okay. He's got length. He's thin. He's also young. I think he's going to be 20. So you have, can he play 72 games? Can he play 72 games? See, I'd like the Knicks to get him, but I don't expect him to start this in his first year. I'm not looking for him to play Tom Thibodeau 35 minutes a game. I think that would wear him out. I'm looking for him to come off the bench. Okay. So, you know, with him is injury is the bust potential. Injury, because he's 6'7", 200. Maybe he gets hurt. He's young. Okay. And I don't think he gets abused on defense because he's an elite defensive player. He's got a good jump shot already. So to me, with him, it's definitely injury potential for Devin Vassell. He's not shown a serious injury at this point. Okay. But he has also not played, you know, anything close to 72 games in a season. So, like I said, he's a guy I would bring off the bench his rookie year. I would not push him too hard. I would not push him more than 25 minutes a game. Isaac Okoro, 6'6", 215. Guy's a physical specimen. Okay. You know, muscular kid, physical kid, high IQ, can pass the ball well. But at 6'6", can he guard 4s in the NBA? Can he guard 3s in the NBA? I believe he can guard 3s. Okay. He in college, he can guard 1 through 5. But at 6'6", 215, wingspan is not like a Devin Vassell. I think he's like a 6'9" wingspan. You know, his defense is going to be okay, and then he has no jump shot right now. You know, I'm hoping, I really wish for the kid that he does develop one. But there's been a string of guys being drafted in the NBA with missing a jump shot and people saying, you know, maybe he can develop that, and they never did. A lot of guys like that. Knicks had a guy like that last year, Elfrid Payton. They drafted him. This is 6th or 7th season. They were like, well, you know, if he could develop a jump shot, and he never did. A lot of guys like that. I hope Okoro develops a jump shot. He also has the desire to be great. From what I've seen, what interviews they've done with him, he has a strong desire to be great. He wants to be great. He's a gym rat is what he was described as. So he will work to see if he can get that jump shot. And that's probably more than half the battle. Okay. And so, very, very high on him. Oh, another thing about Deni, beat up on him for a second. Dude shot 53% from the foul line, man. See, that's a red flag. I can understand if you can't shoot jump shots, but you shooting, 70% from the foul line. Then you got, you can maybe get this done, but you shooting 25% from 3 and 50% from the free throw line. I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, Chicago, please take him at 4. So then, let's go. Patrick Williams. I think Patrick Williams, See, they got, and all the draft boards got him between 11 and 14. And if you look at all the drafts, there's always a diamond in there. A couple of them sometimes. Okay. You've had lots of players, the Freak, Kawhi Leonard. You had lots of players that were drafted in that range. I think Patrick Williams is going to be good. 6'7", 215, but he's young. He's young. The boy is 18 going on 19. Will he get hurt? He looks like he got a strong build, though. Does he have the desire? Coming out of Florida State's program, I would think he does. Florida State, if you look at their past players, they come out of that program, with an attitude to be good. I mean, Jonathan Isaac just got hurt, but same thing with him. They come out of that program looking to excel. And then you got Vassell they got a few players in this draft too. Vassell is coming out of that program as well. I would say he has a moderate bust potential only because he's young and his body may not be filled in yet completely, but I think the bust potential is moderate to low for Patrick Williams. Precious Akua. I'm probably messing up his last name. 6'9", 225, another freshman. He stepped in and played when Wiseman sat out. Boy is hungry. I can see it. Wants it bad. Athletic. I'm not sure about his IQ. That could be a problem. Been a lot of athletic guys in the NBA. Derek Williams, out of a program at University of Arizona, was drafted number 2 overall. I forgot what year was that. Might have been 2012 or something. Bust. You know what I'm saying? So, strong body. He's playing in Europe now. Strong body. 45-inch vertical. Bust. I hope Precious, develops the skill level that he needs. He's a power forward. He's going to have to be able to shoot the ball at the power forward in the NBA. He got to shoot a little bit at least. Defensively, he's going to have the desire. That's good. Moderate bust potential. Aaron Nesmith, 6'6", 215, sophomore coming out of Vanderbilt. With him, again, he's young, but he's got a strong body. Can he play 72 games without getting hurt? Can he get his jumper off in the NBA? I know he's a sharpshooter in college. Fantastic. So was Jimmer Fredette. Again, we're being critical. I know I'm being critical of these guys. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings. Everybody has their favorite players. Can he get his shot off in the NBA? Can he move without the ball and get open and hit the shot in the NBA? That's the risk you're taking with him. As far as injury, he's got a strong build. Going to be 20 years old. I think he can play the 72 games. So and then defensively, I saw some of his videos. He tries very hard on defense. Now, he gets beat often. Not often. Let me not exaggerate. He gets beat badly sometimes, but he's got the effort in there. He stays with his man. He fights through screens. That's good. So if he can shoot, and I'm not looking for him to be Stephen Curry in the NBA. He doesn't have to be Stephen Curry in the NBA, but or Trey Thompson. Now he could end up being that way. That's the boom potential. So he has high boom potential. I would say he has low bust potential because I think he's going to get his shot off in the NBA. I think he will. He's got the range. So and they got him listed here at 13. I'm greedy. I want the Knicks to draft Vassell at 8 and then package to get this kid. I'd like to see him do both or to get a Patrick Williams. I'd like to see them do both, Let's continue here. Terrell Terry from Stanford, 6'3", 160. Who is he going to guard in the NBA? Who is he going to guard in the NBA? He's going to get abused on defense. Obviously, he can shoot the ball. Will he be Isaiah Thomas? Isaiah Thomas gets abused on defense. Anytime Isaiah Thomas comes on the floor, well, now since his hip injury, he's past his peak in terms of his physical abilities. He'll probably still play in the league. He can probably still shoot the ball, but as far as movement is concerned, he will always get abused on defense. So teams have to hide him on the defensive end. Can he shoot like Isaiah Thomas though? Maybe. Can he get his shot off? At 6'3", 160. I don't know. There's high bust potential with him. He's also a freshman. Young kid. Not even finished growing yet. Can he play 72 games? Bust potential is high. Bust potential is very high. I'd stay away from him. Tyrese Maxey, 6'2", 190, shooting guard out of Kentucky. Number one, he's a shooting guard that's 6'2". In the NBA, shooting guards between 6'5" and 6'6", 6'7", 6'8" even. Shooting guards. Can he guard shooting guards? Can he guard Bradley Beal? Can he guard Jaylen Brown? Can he guard Fred VanVleet? I don't know. 6'2", 190. He's a solid kid, but he's still a kid. He's 19. Injury potential is there. Size is deficient. A good shooter at Kentucky, not a great shooter. Let me tell you about a great shooter from Kentucky. Malik Monk was a great shooter at Kentucky. And he's not a great shooter in the NBA. He was is extremely athletic and can't get off the bench in Charlotte. One of the worst teams in the NBA. So Maxey is iffy. I like the spot they have him in, 17 to 22, I would say, for him. All right. Saddiq Bey. He's another underrated guy. They got him listed here at 19. It's another guy I would like to take after. I want Vassell. But if I can get another guy like this one, I would be interested. So 6'8", 215, solid body. He's not reliant. This is a good thing about him. Is he's not relying on athleticism. See, that's another, like with Anthony Edwards, he relies on athleticism. So if he has an injury and it hurts his athleticism, he's done. Okay, because he relies on that. Saddiq Bey is an IQ type player. He's got some athleticism. He's not the highest, but he's an IQ player. So coming out of the Villanova system, the same one that produced the kid Dante that's playing in Milwaukee so well, and then Mikal Bridges, who is a defensive ace in Phoenix. Good program with that guy. And so I say bust potential is very low with him. Very low. High IQ guy. I see Wesley Matthews. Bust potential is very low. Very low. Cole Anthony, 6'3", 185. One problem, off the bat, red flag, he had knee surgery last year. Knee surgery already last year. The type of knee surgery he had is not an ACL, but it's the type that you get when you put a lot of miles on yourself, right? It's that type of knee injury. They consider it minor surgery, but he was only 18 when he had the surgery. Can he play 72 games? 6'3", 185. Can he play 72 games? Can he run an NBA offense? Obviously, he can shoot. Can he shoot like that in the NBA? Will he score against Frank Ntilikina? Now, let's just think about that. Don't laugh, because Frank Ntilikina locked up Luka Doncic. He locked up Westbrook. He put on lockdown Paul George. Can Cole Anthony score against him? I don't know. Will he get his shot off? One thing about Cole Anthony, in spite of his negatives, is the boy is a competitor. You can see that. And he reminds me of his father in that regard. He is a competitor. He wants to be the best. He comes with a chip on his shoulder. These are very good things coming into the NBA. He's going to need that. Because like I said, it's dog eat dog and only the strong survive. He's got to be strong. 6'3", 185. He's okay. But, the bust potential is leaning toward the higher side because, and I don't, listen, everybody goes off and says his team at North Carolina was so bad. That's an excuse, man. Great players make their teams better. Period. Great players make their teammates and their teams better. He went to the University of North Carolina, man. One of the top programs in the nation. I don't want to hear he didn't have good teammates. I don't want to hear that. If he went to Podunk State and averaged 40 and he was playing with guys that were Division II, okay. But he was playing Division I basketball in one of the biggest programs in the nation, and his team stunk. And he took a lot of bad shots. I don't want to hear it. To me, bust potential is high. Okay? His attitude, his drive is what's going to save him, I think. His drive, his attitude, what's going to cause him to make it if he makes it. All right? And Jalen Smith, a couple of more. Wait. R.J. Hampton. R.J. Hampton has high bust potential. He only played 17 games in Australia, was hurt, didn't shoot that well, either from the field, the three-point line, or the foul line. And he's supposed to be known as a shooter. Now, and also he's young, right? I think he'd be in his sophomore year this year, 19, 20, something like that. High bust potential if you're expecting a lot of R.J. Hampton. I think high bust potential. I think you want to look at him as a bench piece. And I wouldn't look at him as more than that. Kyra Lewis. They got him here listed as 6'3", 170, but really he's 6'3", closer to 160. Yeah, he's fast. Yeah, he's very fast. Can he play 72 games at 6'3", 160? Can he? Can he take the pounding of the NBA schedule? Can he deal with the physicality of the league? Because they can knock that speed out real quick. See? If he was De'Aaron Fox, he'd be in the top 5. De'Aaron Fox is a stud. And yes, he is fast, like cheetah type fast. But he has skills too. Okay? Sees the game fast. You got to be able to see the game and read the game quick. The NBA game is fast. How long will it take for Kyra Lewis to have the game slow down for him? Can he take the pounding? Will he get the game slow down for him? Can he deal with the NBA speed? He's fast, but can he deal with the NBA speed? Is he John Wall? There have been a lot of players with speed that didn't make it. That's why they have him listed here 26. He could very well become a stud. Bust potential is high though. Okay. Jalen Smith, 6'10", 215 from Maryland. Guy looks strong. Guy looks mature for a sophomore. I think he's probably 20 or 21. I think he's older. Can shoot the ball. Seems like he's hungry. I would say low bust potential for Jalen Smith. That's I like him. I want the Knicks to get him at 27 if we don't deal the pick. Tyler Bay, 6'7", 215 from Colorado. He's a junior, so his body's more mature. I saw a game with him and Obi. He was giving Obi all he could handle. Kid's a fighter. I see him as a bench piece. I don't see high bust potential because I'm not looking for him to be a superstar. Of course, any of these guys, there's always one of them that's going to end up being a superstar. We don't know who it is. Nobody knows who it is. If we did, the guy would be drafted number 1. Okay? So that's all. So you can see the risk with all of these guys. And that's why I want the Knicks to take Vassell at 8. The risk is low. Obi Toppin and Vassell are my 2 top ones. I like Okoro because of more potential, even though he has more high bust potential than the other 2 to me. But please, Chicago, take Deni off the board before we draft him, and then we shouldn't have drafted him. Take Halliburton. Somebody please take him. I'm not saying he's not going to be a good player, but he's too thin. He needs to run off the board. The bust potential is high. Okay, bust potential is high. And I'm glad we're not getting LaMelo Ball. Bust potential is extremely high. People are overhyping this kid. I'm not saying he's not going to be a good player. I'm saying it's a big question mark. Bigger than we know. Okay, bigger than we know. Thanks for watching. Shalom.